Hello, dear students. Today I am dealing with chapter number 2nd. The name of the chapter is Absorption of Water under the credit number 1st. In this chapter, we cover here the two subtopics. First, 2.1 is Introduction and 2.2 is Role of Water in Plant. So next here, firstly we focus on the introduction of this chapter. All of you know that in a plant body there is cells, and within that cell, within that plant body, there is water is a major constituent. Out of all constituent present in plant body, the major near about 85% is covered by the water. This water acts as hydroskeleton to keep plant parts in a stiff and rigid condition. Whatever plant parts are there, like as a leaves are there, root hairs are there, roots are there, fruits are there. Okay, all these plant parts it's keep in a stiff and rigid condition due to the presence of more water in the cell of that organs. Absorption of water in plants is a vital process which is a very important for the growth of plants and other metabolic activities. See, the absorption of water, it is a basic process, it is a vital process placed by the plant, and this water it is also important for normal healthy growth of the plant. In field, if there is a scarcity of water is there is not enough water getting for the crop plants or any plants, they do not show the normal growth. The growth becomes stunty, then obvious the leaf size is also reduced, the height of plant is also reduces. Then other metabolic activities within the plant body, there is the thousands of metabolic reactions are takes place. There is a anabolic reaction and catabolic reactions are carried out within the plant body, and water it is one of the medium for all metabolic activities or all metabolic reaction carried out within the plant body. See, the water absorption in a lower plants takes place by the process of osmosis. Means here the lower plants like as algae, then bryophyte, then fungi, okay, whatever that lower plants groups are there, here the water generally absorbed through the whole plant body. Means that lower plants they do not have a root system or well developed root system. Instead of root there is a presence of rhizoid, but all over the body they have a ability to absorb the water by the process of osmosis. In higher plants, the mechanism of water absorption is takes place through the root hairs via root. See, this is regarding to the introductory part of the chapter. The name of the chapter is Absorption of Water. Then see here the role of the water in a plant body. In this diagram there is a distinctly mentioned. See, this is the root system. See, this is the soil. Within the soil there is a various minerals are there, and that minerals dissolve within the water, and water and minerals are taken up by the roots through the root hairs. Root hairs are small, thin, unicellular hairs are there, and they are present on roots, and these roots hairs are major absorbing organ of the root. Then from a root, that water and minerals containing sap, it goes upward, and that water containing minerals or mineral containing water, it's providing to the xylem. Okay, through the xylem conducting tissues are present within the stem, and through that xylem tissues, that water it is provided to all over the plant body. See, upper organs of the plant body, like as a stem is there, then leaves, then the apical buds. Okay, water is transported. Then see here, see, this is the leaf part. Okay, all of you know the leaf, it is nothing but the kitchen of the plant body. Okay, the leaf, when exposed to the sunlight, when sunlight fall down on the leaves here, by using water, then carbon dioxide, with the help of chlorophyll pigment, that light energy, it is converted into chemical energy in the form of glucose. Means that process is known as photosynthesis. The result of the photosynthesis here, the formation of glucose, and this glucose, it is nothing but the carbohydrate, and this glucose, it is provided throughout the plant body via phloem tissues present within the stem and all over the plant body. Then next, the role 2.1, role of water in a plant. See here, we focus here the role of the water in a plant body one by one. Firstly, I am focusing here role of water as a medium of fertilization in primitive plants. See, in lower groups of the plants like algae, fungi, bryophytes and pteridophytes, these are lower group of the plants. We already studied this plant group in FYBSc. These lower plant groups we also generally known as cryptogames, means non-flowering plants. See, in a reproduction, in a sexual reproduction, carrying the gametes, specifically the male gametes, and the gametes for fertilization process, water is needed as a medium of the transport of that gametes. Here the transport of that gametes, here the male gametes swim within the water, or it is also called as a spermatozoids. They swim within the water and they reaches towards the female gamete. And here the without water, fertilization event or fertilization process cannot be takes place, and that's why here the water is essential for fertilization in lower plant groups. Then next, second, role of water to keep root hairs and leaves in a steep and rigid condition. The single cell root hair and the multicellular photosynthetic organ, it is nothing but the leaves, have to be steeped and rigid in condition to carry out their proper functional activities. See, that single cell root hair and that leaves are steep and rigid. Why it is a steep and rigid? Because within the root hair cell as well as within the leaves, there is the 80 to 90% of water is there, and this water provide the stiffness and rigidity to the cell of that part, must hold the maximum amount of water in them. In such a condition, root hairs able to apply pressure to move their way into the soil to collect the water. Means that rigid and stiff root hair, they reaches deeper into the soil for getting the water. Similarly, the leaves are well expanded condition, are exposed to bright sunlight to carry the photosynthesis. The leaf lamina get expanded if there is a more expansion of the leaf lamina, and it's getting the more sunlight, and here exposed to bright sunlight to carries the photosynthesis. The rate of photosynthesis is also high. In such a condition, root hairs able to apply pressure to move their way into the soil to collect the water, and similarly the leaves are well expanded condition, are exposed to bright sunlight to carry their photosynthesis activity. Then the third, role of water in transporting minerals from the soil. All of you know, within the soil there is a variety of minerals and ions are present. The minerals present in the soil get dissolved in the water which the soil contain. That water we generally called as groundwater. The dissolved minerals in the form of smaller ions and moves these ions into root passively along with the water they absorb. See that dissolved minerals in the form of smaller ions, that minerals they are they them that minerals absorbed by the root here passively without expenditure of any energy investment. Then fourth, role of water in transporting food material in a plant. In a plant, all of you know, the one of the major process takes place, that is photosynthesis. The result of the photosynthesis, there is a formation of glucose sugar, and these glucose sugar produced in the plant body will be dissolved in a water, and it always be transported in a dissolved form through phloem tissues of the plant. See, the leaves, it is a source of the food material, and those are the shrink parts are there, means those plants organ, they do not having a chlorophyll, they do not photosynthesis. For example, the root, okay, the root, they do not have a green tissues or they do not have a chlorophyll, and that's why for energy purpose, that root tissues getting the food from the leaf tissues via phloem. Then fifth, the role of water in the metabolic activities of the cell. Within the cell, there is a cytoplasm is present. This watery constituent semi-solid material is there. It is nothing but the cytoplasm. And the cell cytoplasm is an active center where large number of constructive and destructive chemical reactions occur. See, the constructive chemical reaction, it is also known as the anabolic reaction. Anabolism or constructiveness means there is a synthesis of new things. By using the raw material, there is a synthesize the new thing. Here I am taking one example photosynthesis. It is a constructive reaction because it's using the water plus carbohydrate with the help of sunlight. There is a synthesis of new material. There is a glucose or carbohydrate. And destructive chemical reaction means there is a catabolism, means there is a breakdown. See, I'm focusing here one example, best example of destructiveness or catabolism. It is a respiration. Within the respiration, glucose molecule breakdown stepwise. Means here within the cytoplasm there is a variety of anabolic and catabolic chemical reactions occurs. These chemical reaction will help to synthesize the new material for the cell as well as energy required for the activities of the cell. Chemical compounds present in the cytoplasm will need water as a medium for the reaction. If the water is not present in cytoplasm, water is absent, then uh, various chemical reaction cannot be takes place, and that's why the cytoplasm will need water as a medium for the reaction to occurs between them. See the next 6, role of water in opening and closing of stomata. So the stomata, these are the minute opening, minute pore present on upper as well as lower epidermis. See the structure of stomata. The stomata, it consisting of the pair of kidney shaped cells are there. That kidney shaped cells, it is a nothing but the guard cells are there, and periphery to the guard cell there is subsidiary cells are present. See the stomatal opening and closing of stomata, it is a completely depends on the water. See here, firstly I'm focusing here the stomata open case. See here, in a subsidiary cell there is water is stored in a neighboring cell of the guard cell, it is called the subsidiary cell. And when here the ions are also accumulated in a subsidiary cell, see if ion concentration is lower in a guard cell, then here the potassium channel get open and that potassium ion comes inside the guard cell, and that potassium ion followed by the water molecules. If the potassium comes into the guard cell, then water is also comes in a guard cell, and here the guard cell become more turgid, and the wall of the guard cell, it is elastic in nature and it get more uh, due to the more turgidity it get stretched out and the stomata get open, and through that opening of the stomata there is a gases exchange takes place between plant and atmosphere. Okay, then second case I am focusing here the stomata close condition. If here in a guard cell, here the ion concentration is more, potassium ion concentration is a more in a guard cell, while in a subsidiary cell the potassium ion concentration is less, and due to here the potential difference is created, and whatever potassium concentration is present in a guard cell, that potassium ion channel get open and that potassium ion comes into the subsidiary cell from guard cell, and here the reverse condition is created. Here the potassium ions comes outside from the guard cell, then followed The potassium ion to water molecule is also comes outside the guard cell. Then here they lose water comes outside. Then that guard cell they lose their turgidity and the guard cell become flaccid, and at that case the stomata is closed. There is no gases exchange between atmosphere and plant body. See here, the water is playing a very important role in opening and closing of stomata. The next 7, role of water in photosynthesis. All of you know water acts as a source of hydrogen to reduce the carbon dioxide to form the glucose. Water acts as a source of hydrogen ions to reduce the carbon dioxide, and the result of this reaction there is a formation of glucose, and it is one of the best example of anabolic chemical reaction of photosynthesis, and that's why here the water plays a very important role in photosynthesis process. Without water the photosynthesis process cannot be takes place within the leaves. Then 8, role of water in cooling the plant body. Every plant throughout the whole day will be exposed to high sunlight. During the summer season, temperature is very high. The water vapors released from the surface of the plant body through evaporation process stay around the plant body and cool it. This will help the plant body to protect itself from dehydration and desiccation. Around the plant body, that water vapors are surrounded to the plant body, and it generally covers the entire plant body, and it's reduce the temperature or it's reduce the heat surround the plant body, and it's protect the plant from dehydration, from the more water loss and desiccation. Then next 9, role of water in germination of seed. All of you know for seed germination water is essential factor. If there is no water, then there is no seed germination. When we saw the seed in a moist soil, within the moist soil, there is water is present in the form of moisture, and that soil through the imbibition process. Imbibition means here the water get attracted by the hydrophilic substances present within the seed coat. Here the starch or carbohydrate or the cell wall cellulose is there within the plant cell or within the seed coat cells are there. There is a cellulose, all of you know the cell wall, it is made up of the cellulose, and cellulose it is also the one of the hydrophilic substances that attracts the water towards itself, and through the imbibition process the seed drink water, absorb the water from moist soil, and its swell. The force developed through this activity will break down the hard seed coat of that seed and allow the seed to germinate. Means here when water enters within the seed, it's break it's that whatever cells are there, that cell become turgid, seed coat cells become turgid and it gets swell, and ultimately they break down the seed coat. This is one important thing is happen. And another, when the water enter within the seed, then various hydrolytic enzymes they get activated and it enhance the process of seed germination. And that's why here the role of the water in a seed germination is very important. So uh, this is regarding to the role of the water in plant. See, in this topic the expected questions like as give the different role of water in a plant body. It may ask like write a short note on the role of water in a plant, or explain the various role of water in plant body. It is asked for 5 marks, or it is asked for long answer question 10 marks also. Thank you.